Hey, it's Brian Iverson. I'm going to go over the 11 control layers of a house. So why is the wall important? The wall holds up everything that's over your head. It holds up the roof, might have a snow load on it. The wall has to also do something else. It has to hold your roof down from uplift. Okay, so tornado comes by, heavy winds, high winds, the whole roof wants to pick off. So that wall has to stay in place. Mother Nature's on the other side, and she's coming through that wall, come heck or high water. So depending upon how you build that wall, she might come through like a hot knife through butter, or you're going to put up lines of defense in order to keep her out from affecting your pocketbook. So the wall has 80% of all the openings in the entire house. In the entire envelope, 80% of them are in the outside wall. All the electrical outlets, sometimes plumbing, and I hope not heating. Okay, but all the windows and the doors, they're all out there. So the wall's important. You get the wall right, you can, pretty simple to get the rest of the structure to work. So 2x4s, okay, so Mother Nature's over here, your pocketbook's over here. So throw this bad boy away because that thing's not working. This 2x6 is only slightly better because there's Mother Nature's right here, sheetrock's right there, 5.5 inches, and you're trying to slow down on the wall, 140 degrees on a hot summer day, even in Kansas City, coming through the wall. And Kansas City might be 20 below zero coming through the same wall. So you have to protect, this is just the bones in your body. Okay, that's all that is. Okay, the next one is thermal. How are you going to keep Mother Nature out? So do you fill the cavity of this full of as much insulation as you can? Sure, absolutely. But then you have what do you do on the rest of it? Okay, so this is continuous insulation on the outside. This happens to be rigid. They have semi-rigid as well, so it's got a little bit of squishy stuff to it, so that you have to work with that differently. Do they put it on the outside of this, or does it go right here? Do you put some of it right here? But that's thermal. From thermal, we have air control. You can't allow air to go through this, but in the past we did, right? In the past we did, no problem whatsoever. Woo, woo, air went right through that wall. So that's why your curtains moved. 11 air changes per hour, let's say. So from air control, you know, the new energy codes, they don't want air to move because with air comes moisture, okay, all the time. If the air is coming in from the outside or from the inside out, you don't want anything going through. I just got pictures from a gentleman. His house is built in 1998. 98. And he had to take the window out. And when he took the window out, it's all completely rotted out below. Okay, somebody didn't get a control layer right. And that happened. So the next one is vapor. Okay, vapor is the enemy. Because vapor, if in your house, if you have too much moisture in your house, it's going to go out some little hole. I used to have a pin cushion right here. It's one thing to have a 4-inch hole, but it's something else completely to have a whole bunch of little pinholes. A big 4-inch hole, plug that. All them little pinholes, they're harder to find. You need little smoke detectors. Okay, next one is bulk water. So that's the exterior. So there's drainage control and there's bulk water. There's two of them. So bulk water, that's shingles, siding, big water events. You need to get that away from your structure as soon as you can. And then you have your water resistant barriers because Mother Nature is going to try to push whatever she can through the wall to get underneath it. And you have to have a way to drain that. Otherwise, they shouldn't call them rain screens in the first place. It doesn't rain in there. It doesn't rain. They should call it dew control, condensation control, come up with anything else but rain. It doesn't rain, but it does get moisture behind her, right? We've had sidings that have failed because they put the siding, the cladding right on the sheathing itself, and there was no way to get air behind there, okay? That's bad. So next is capillary action. That's from the ground and moisture coming up or moisture coming through your foundation, moisture somehow working its way around inside of your foundation in your wall. It's just capillary action. The next one is fire. So they do make really good, they're called intumescent paints for fire control that goes on the outside. I have it on my house here. It's a really super nice product. And that's my kids playing in the background there. Might have to give them a little trouble after this. Okay, sound. Oh, okay, titanium member of Marriott. Sound. It is mega important. Sound. I can't stand. Only 2 times in my life have I ever thought, I was curious what was going on in the room next to me. Wind and seismic. Wind load, that's wind load 5. Everything that I've been part of and invented is past wind load 5, and it's always past seismic zone F. So full-blown California, on the fault, that's seismic zone F. Shakes the living daylights out of everything. It's now you have to have uplift control, you have to have wind control, you got to have all these control layers. And the last one is passive ventilation, and that's the drain strip. And that's my grandkids again, and I'm not taking this off, but I am gonna go out there and I'm gonna give them the raspberries, okay, right now. Okay, so those are your 11 control layers. You don't have to have them all, but I have all 11 on my house, and drywall wasn't one of them. So just because I want to finish this off, when you look at products and you're trying to decide, oh, I want to try that new product over there, a sheathing, let's say. Do you know that some sheathing manufacturers use the drywall as part of their ASTM test or their test results in order to pass? So the best thing to do right there is to go look at the ASTM report, go to the last page usually, and it gives exceptions, exclusions, and how they did their work and how it has to be built. Okay, some do. Now the last one, I'm at 7 minutes here. Okay, here's the ugly one. If you overdrive nails through this, we did a test. If you overdrive, let's say this is an 8 foot by 8 foot panel, because that's an ASTM test for wind load racking strength. You test 2 4 by 8 sheets of whatever you're doing on whatever your stud is, and what they do is you fasten them with your nailing pattern. It's exactly perfect. The nails are exactly perfect, kind of like what I did here. They're sucked down tight. They are not overdriven. And what they do is they push on this corner right here. They push on this, and then they scale this wall out of deflection, and the farthest it can go out of deflection is 4 inches, because that's the end of the test. 4 inches, that's the end. But so what happens when you overdrive if you overdrive 25% of your fasteners, so instead of 7/16 of an inch of holding power, maybe it's only 25% of them have 1/4%. You lost 25% of your wind load racking strength. That's a fact. Okay, I have that test result. That's by ICC did that. So I'm Brian Iverson. Those are your 11 control layers. And I was going to say, yeah, you can follow me, and share the message. And so this is podcast number 6. Okay, it's all about control layers.